of great people, a lot of great things happening in our country, but today it's about Oklahoma and what this means for our economy and how special this is. That's having the NCAA tournament here.
That's right.
Do you think if Trump is arrested, do you think that hinders any 2024 opportunities?
No, listen, I think everybody sees it for what it is. They constantly have been coming after the president, and it's shameful because that's not what we do in this country. We had opportunities to go after Hillary. We had opportunities to go after other people if we were really going to say that, but we didn't because that's not what this country does. And it's shameful that one event is taken away from what this is for Oklahoma, what this is for Tulsa. The whole point of President Trump coming to town was, one, to be my guest, but two, help the governor and myself highlight what Oklahoma has to offer. We don't want to be just a flyover state. We want to be something that people want to come and visit, and this helps that. And that's what the president is trying to do. He's trying to help highlight a great city that he's fell in love with.
How do you feel about hanging out with Mr. Trump this evening? Is it a great honor?
You know, my boys have had the opportunity to do it quite a bit. A story that a lot of people don't realize is when my son Jim got hurt, President Trump made an effort to come see him in Bakersfield, California, and they became very good friends. And he's become a friend of the family. And so, unfortunately for my boys, they think it's cool, but they also think it's just hanging out with a friend. It's not just President Trump. For us, it's just a highlight of. I know the governor and myself. We didn't come from the political world, and so I think a couple times we have to pinch ourselves and say, "Is this really happening?" I mean, how is it that two country boys from Oklahoma have the privilege of being on a set by the former president of the United States, and then do it in our own backyard? So that's special.
He's here at your invitation. Have you talked to him today since he made the comments?
I talked to him this morning and yesterday. We usually talk about once a week, but we didn't talk about that. He's just excited about being here. I mean, his only request was, "Is there Diet Coke?" And I said, "Well, they only serve Pepsi in here, but we can get you Diet Coke."
So does that mean he gets to bring his own Diet Coke in?
No, I think the BOK probably got him some Diet Coke. I don't say it came from BOK, but there's pretty sure there's Diet Coke up there.
What was the whole genesis of him coming? I mean, I don't know. To me, it seems kind of interesting that I don't know where he's coming from, but he's flying into Tulsa for an hour and a half of wrestling.
So this started back in 2019. Jim Jordan and I asked him to come to the national finals in Minnesota. Obviously, that got canceled because of COVID. 2021 was a little busy. 2022 was a little distracted, and we went into this year, and he said absolutely he wants to come. In fact, my boys actually made the ask for him when we were down in Mar-a-Lago visiting with him. They asked him if he'd come up, and he says, "Is it in Tulsa?" "Absolutely, I'll be there."
So, but there's not any kind of fundraiser?
There's nothing behind it. He is literally coming in just for the wrestling event, and that's it.
Mr. Trump's looking for a running mate, isn't he, for the next election? Is that something that either of you would be
I think my wife would
in?
be great at that. I think she'd be wonderful. Yeah, she'd be a great vice president.
Hey, man, I'm an Oklahoman, love Oklahoma, love serving my state. Got a young family. Just moved from Tulsa to Oklahoma City, it feels like just a couple years ago. So love Oklahoma City, and I'm going to serve out my term is my plan. So.
Are you afraid at all that the politics of the day could overshadow the competition that's going on inside?
Oh, I don't think so. I mean, these guys, this is the championship match, and they've trained their whole life for this. And so, man, it's so exciting to see this. It's going to be it's been 8 mats around, and then it came down to 4 today, and now we're going to have one single mat. And, man, winning a national championship is just unbelievable. And with all the history that we've got, the National Wrestling Hall of Fame located in Stillwater, Oklahoma, and all the history that we have in Oklahoma, those kids are going to be thinking about winning their match tonight, and I think that's what all the fans are. You know, this 100,000 people here, we'll see all 6 sessions. You're talking about $40 million in direct economic impact. So it also just highlights, like we had Southern Hills, we had the major championship here. Those kind of things are just great for our state. We're a top 10 state. Just the more of these kind of things that we can have on a national stage, I think is really, really good for our economy and the quality of life and these type of things that we have.
And keep in mind, this crowd is our crowd. I mean, they're wrestlers. It's a crowd my whole life I've been around. If anything, this pumps up every one of these wrestlers, knowing that somebody that they probably adore quite a bit is out there this close to the match going to watch them. It brings on a little bit more excitement. It doesn't distract. It makes you even go harder.
Does Mr. Trump have a particular fondness for Tulsa? He's visited here quite a lot.
I mean, I would like to say so. Yeah, I mean, we've got a great state, and it's you know, having the president or a former president show up here in Tulsa is just a great deal for our state. President Biden's been here. I mean, there's 50 states. The presidents can't be everywhere at once, and so for us to have this type of activity in just a short period of time, I think it just speaks volumes for our state, what we're doing for our economy. So just exciting things happening in Oklahoma.
Right.
Does he plan to interact with the crowd at all? Wave to them? Will he be announced?
Yeah, he'll be announced. So when he comes in, he'll walk across the stage, and we'll all go to our seats at that time, and they'll announce him at that time. He didn't want to give a speech. He made it very clear that he was coming in here just to have a good time. And so this isn't, as I said, this isn't a political stop for him. This isn't a political event for the governor and I. We were going to be here either way. And so this is just him getting to enjoy a sport that he loves.
So you're going to get him a Billy's Theta burger while he's in here?
I'd go to Clyde's. Clyde's is a staple of Tulsa.
But Billy's is in the
Hey,
arena.
That's true. And they got a good burger too.
Somebody needs to call Ike's Chili. Get him some Ike's Chili down here too.
What do you think it'll take for Oklahoma to get a wrestling program like Minnesota?
Oklahoma does. We're Oklahoma State. We had a rough year today. There's no question. OU's coming up. But we have a rich history. There's not another program in the country that has more national championships than Oklahoma State. And so every now and then you have a bad year, and this hasn't been our year, but I guarantee you we'll be back, because I know one of the recruiting classes that's going in, and 2 of them is my boys. So we're good.
Have you been here for the whole tournament?
Not Thursday. I was here yesterday and today. Anything else, guys? We got to wrap up pretty quick.
Quick comments. Canada stole Volkswagen's plant away from Oklahoma. Do you have any comments on that? Any other potential companies in the pipeline that you're trying to land here?
You know, the exciting thing is 5 years ago, we weren't in the conversation for these type of opportunities. And so, again, this is a whole country that was doing everything they can to roll out and win that deal. And we thought we were going to have it. But, hey, you don't bat 1,000. We're going to get back up to the plate, and we're going to keep pitching for those big, huge whales. In the meantime, you know, we're landing some 500-person companies, 1,700. That was one of the largest factories that's going to be built, you know, in the world. And so, but we're still in play for a couple other ones, and so we're excited. We've got a great piece of site. The quality of life and the arbitrage with cost of living and also with labor costs makes Oklahoma really, really attractive. And people are starting to put Oklahoma on the radar for many future sites. So that's what's exciting for us.